I want to watch some Honkai video, and the next one is a Honkai.
Eileen.
Now, I had absolutely no clue about this, because I don't really get into the like behind the scenes gotcha stuff or like the entire like I don't know. I guess I just don't get too into it. You know, like if there's like events. Like let me be real with you, bro. I can barely freaking schedule my own freaking channel. My videos, my streams. I'm really bad at keeping up on the schedule. I would need some kind of person who'll sit on stuff or some kind of reminder. So keeping up with all this Honkai Star Rail stuff, it's maddening, bro. I can't like, and not just that, but with any gacha. I can't like, I don't know when the banners are coming out. I don't know when the characters are happening. I don't know when the new events are happening. Like, I'm freaking lost. I just log in one day and suddenly everything's different. I'm like, what the frick? You get me? So I'm trying to get better about it, and I kind of want to see more stuff. And as part of that, I kind of want to see what is this about? Is this some kind of banner character that like never like got released or what's up? And it's like somebody I don't think I've ever reacted to, Egg Nerd. So let's check it out, my dudes. Come on, Eileen.
A name that only a small minority of people within the Honkai Star Rail community are actually familiar with. Now,
No,
we've
I
seen
shall
this
be
character
too.
making a couple cameos.
I'm gonna be like a
However,
hipster.
as of right now,
Anytime somebody's like, "Oh, you play Honkai?" I'm like, "Do I play Honkai Star? Do I play Honkai Star?" I bet you don't even know about Eileen. I'll be like, Eileen. I'll be like, exactly, bro. I'll be like that, bro. I'll be like a hipster.
Doesn't even exist. Before I go in depth on who this character is, first,
Hoyoverse, just freaking install an option for us to change the gender armor of a character at will, and subsequently also change the subtitles to match it. It's such a nonsensical, or not nonsense. It's such a simple solution. Like, people actually make YouTube videos discussing on whether they should go with the male or female version of the main character, especially when it comes to Zenless Zone Zero, because like the other character tends to be the person talking to you in your ear in that one, and it's like you can just change it, bro. We can change it. Plus, let's be completely honest. There'll be times where sometimes either the male or the female character just be milking it. You know what I mean? And you kind of want to hear the other one. Or see the other one. Like, for example, Honkai Star Rail, if you were to ask me, my recommendation, 100%, go with the male character. Why? Because the baseballer, like the physical version, his like animation for his ultimate is so freaking intense compared to the female one. He just like looks like he's pissed off for like no reason compared. She looks like cool, calm, and collected. He's like just fury. He looks like he's about to like, he looks like the Doom Slayer about to drop into heck. You feel me? Anyway.
we need some key concepts.
Zenless though,
So let's take a trip
I
down
kind of say
the
go
main
with
lane. So the oldest archives that we can find publicly available for Honkai
I
Star
forgot
Rail.
her name. See, you see what I'm saying? I forgot her name, but I definitely know Weiss. Weiss is the brother. Don't go with Weiss. Weiss is funny on the ear, especially with Fairy. They like freaking hate each other. It's the funniest thing ever.
Dates back to October 2021, which is when the game was announced. However, that's not really
And
true.
Wuwa, I
Now, it
have
might
not
just
seen a
be
single
impossible
difference
to find
at
some of
all.
these archives in 2024. However, the day that these images came up, I took it upon myself to actually save every single one of them.
Oh snap!
Now, what I'm talking about are the Honkai Star Rail leaks that actually came out before the game was even announced. Now, these leaks didn't come out that much longer before the game was announced. It was only about a couple of weeks, like about mid to late September 2021. So around the time that Genshin Impact was celebrating its first anniversary. Now, with these leaks, we can see build version 0.56. Just for context, we're in version 2.3 for Honkai Star Rail.
Dude, it looks way different. Whoa.
And the first closed beta test, the first publicly available test, is version 0.6 or 0.60. So this is a build that was never released to the public, not even as a closed beta test. Now, we here can see the old main menu, which personally I think looks better than the one we have now, but that's up for debate. We can see beta test. Now,
yeah, that's the weirdest
here can
thing.
see
I honestly
the
thought 100%. I'm like, oh, is this the Chinese? Is this the Chinese login? I'm gonna be real with you, bro. This looks like booty cheeks compared to the one we got right now.
old main menu, which personally I think looks better than the one we have now, but
Nah. Nah, bruh, that's some you huffing some real copium right now. Nah, that one's ass compared to this. I don't even know what the frick those freaking like whatever the frick what is that? What is that
To
in the
the public,
background?
not even as a closed beta test. Now, we here can see the old main menu,
Like, what is
which
that? What is this? What it is? I ain't never seen that in my life in the game.
personally I
You
think
know
looks
what I
better
have
than the
seen
build
though?
we have now, but
I've seen this
that's up for
train.
debate.
You riding in
We
that?
can
That's you right
see
there.
the old Honkai Star Rail logo
So
that came before the
sorry,
one
man.
we have now. Very early images of the Bellobog build, the underground for
I gotta say one thing I gotta complain about. Like because I know you can do it. Give Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero like frankly way more open world experiences like Genshin Impact.
Euro
Way more
6, and most importantly, a character spreadsheet.
like
Now, of
Genshin.
course, here we can see Hook, Seely, Welt, Clara, Asa, Himiko,
Everyone says Seela's freaking name different. It really every single person out there says it differently.
Serval, Bronya, Darhong, March 7th, MC, Gaypart, Sampo, Pela, Kakalia, Natasha, Arlen, and
Kakalia,
when the fuck? So straight off the bat,
Eren, Eren. Come on, Irene. Hold on, I'm more surprised by the fact that Kakalia was supposed to be a character. Please bring her back. Ooh, she would be ice and what else? Ooh, ice and I feel like it would have to be preservation, right? Yeah, I think so. It would make sense. It would make sense right now too. She would come in as an ice preservation. I think that would make sense. And on top of all of that, since March, everyone's using March now as like an imaginary build instead of the ice build, the ice preservation. She would fit in just fine, though she would be a direct conflict with Gapard, though I suppose. So maybe like what, like an ice nihility? She could be like an ice nihility. That'd be dope. But I don't know. I guess what it would have to be story wise. It would have to be whatever path she walks, right? Whatever path she follows.
there's a character here who, despite
Bring
having
Kakalia
been
back
leaked
in.
almost 3 years ago, we have never actually seen in game. Now, her name here is Erin, and in the parentheses, we can see that she's tied to March 7th. However, I can't really read Vietnamese. But again, we've never seen her in game.
I'm
Now,
assuming
of
she's
course,
same
this is
voice
none
actress
other
as March.
than Eileen herself, leaked years in advance before she even becomes playable. Now, this was the first time we've ever actually seen Eileen, but the first time we've seen her officially actually came the very same day that Honkai
Is this is not how the game used to look, right? This is like graphics are not installed, or is this how the game actually looks back then?
Star Rail was announced. Now, in order to see her appearance, we need to go back to the Honkai Impact 3rd YouTube channel. This YouTube channel posted an animated short. Now, in this short, we can see a lot of very interesting things, such as what appears to be the city in post-Honkai Odyssey. Now, keep in mind, people are saying that this video is non-canon, so take that with a grain of salt. However, this video is still very important as, like I said, we were able to see the post-Honkai Odyssey map,
Am I the only one that gets like peeved off whenever there's like something that's not canon but it's still on the official channel? Like, freaking take it down! You're confusing me.
which is a game mode within Honkai Impact. We can see a train nearly identical to the Astral Express, and we can see
Wow.
Welt along with Carol hopping on this train. However, the
Welt
most
and
important
Carol.
thing about this video is that Carol
Welt!
is drinking absolute peak. Nah, I'm just kidding. The most important thing about this video for real is the only official appearance of this character that we've been talking about.
Okay, see, because I was wondering, I'm like, because I know they're connected to some degree or in some way. I have no idea what the connection is. I've never played Honkai. Honkai. I've only ever played Star Rail. See, now I'm gonna have to get into it, dude. Not freaking. Darn it!
Eileen. Now it goes without saying that she looks identical to March 7th. But what's interesting is if we hear her speak,
あげる。今の私ができることはこれくらいかな。
gamers, that sounds exactly like March 7th. Now, if we get a quick reminder of what March 7th's past is, we know that we don't know anything about it, right? We don't know anything about March 7th's lore and what happened to her other than her being trapped in the eternal ice. So that would be about it, right? It's all up for debate. She seems
I mean, I could see that being like Eileen was Eileen, because you see how it says Eileen and then at the bottom it says March 7th in Vietnamese. I can't read it, but I'm assuming it could just be that that Eileen is basically just a very early model March 7th, and they decided not to give her a name and instead keep it at March 7th because since she couldn't, because the reason she's called March 7th is that since all they know is that she was trapped in the eternal freeze. That's it. They don't know where the frick. Like she don't got a name. She got nothing. So she just named herself after the day that she was found or hatched out of the freaking ice, which was March 7th. So I'm assuming they might have had an initial concept of oh, she'll come up with the name Irene, and then maybe they decided, nah, not Irene. Let's go with this idea, March 7th instead. So I could see that being an early concept model instead of a whole other character.
to be March 7th, but it's not officially confirmed. However, that's not all. There is one thing that we can use to officially tie Eileen to March 7th. And that would be build 0.56 of Honkai Star Rail, the leaked and first ever build of the game. Now this is the only build of the game that has Eileen in it, and if we see her in combat,
it's literally freaking March 7th.
Her splash art is March 7th.
Yeah, I think she's a prototype. I think she was a prototype March.
You know this isn't March 7th because this is a completely different model than what we've seen in game. The kit is different since March 7th does.
But you can see some of the color inspirations.
But she doesn't have a support
on the little bow behind her.
And lastly, this is an entire.
Look at the little bow on the back of Eileen.
We've seen in game. The kit is.
Look at the little bow. Literally the exact color palette of March. Right, and even has the little long ponytail thing. The little strands on the back. So I think this is basically just a very early model of March that they ended up changing
since March
when
7th,
they made her the poster child.
She has a shield, but she doesn't have a support function. And lastly,
and
this
she
is
has
an
a shield.
entirely
Yeah,
different
definitely.
element that we've seen as opposed to March's current ice element in the upcoming imaginary element in version 2.4. This is lightning right here. If we take a look at her element in this specific frame, we can see this is a lightning unit. We could be seeing someday maybe Eileen as a 5-star lightning harmony insane support unit once we eventually get to the end game of Honkai Star Rail.
I doubt it. Again, this feels very much like they just added all this at the end. They probably didn't even want her to be ice initially.
Or when March's lore is eventually revealed. Now this is a little bit off topic, but something else that's very, very interesting here is Bela over here is actually Quantum. If we pause when it's her turn, we can see that she actually used to be a Quantum unit.
Yeah,
and
see,
while
so
it's not
there was a
related
lot
to
of
the video,
changes.
I'm sure most people weren't able to pick that
Yeah,
up, so
I
that
think
is
that's what it was.
actually something that is pretty interesting. Now, another thing to note about this build is Eileen has no face. Now, you can take that as a creepypasta, like some faceless Ayoo type stuff from 2022, but
well, now I have to make a freaking creepypasta about it if nobody else is going to.
more realistically, this means that Eileen was very likely never even finished. Now, Hoyoverse is known for planning a lot of their updates and their content.
Nah, son. Eileen was finished. That's her. That's the finished Eileen. Complete a design. The design was so vastly changed. But even the color palette is the exact same color palette of March. Very reminiscent of that. March is the finished Eileen.
Well in advance. We're talking years in some cases. For example, Genshin Impact launched in 2020, and they have an extensive roadmap leading all the way up until likely 2027 or 2028. Now, with Honkai Star Rail, we also had Penacony, right, version 2.0, which dropped on February of this year, 2024. The developers stated that they had been working on Penacony since fall of 2022, a whole 6 months before the game even came out. And the fact that despite all of that, Eileen was never finished in the one build that she was featured in, this could be taken in a numerous amount of different ways, but what this seems to me is that we're
Seems
not going to be
obvious
seeing
that-
anything about Eileen for the foreseeable future. Now, every single character in this build is actually present.
No, I would not be surprised if we found out that March's true name is Eileen. Her real name ends up being Eileen, or potentially she ends up naming herself Eileen at some point. That's my assumption.
In a certain folder. You have, of course, Asta, Danhang, Gaypard, Himeko, Hook, and so on and so forth, right? The usual characters that have been with us in the game since launch, or before launch since the game was announced. However, this build of the game has files for characters that we haven't even seen yet. Two that stand out to anyone who would
Cocolia.
play Honkai Impact or
Cocolia.
has played Honkai Impact. These two would be Rita and Sakura. And this build
Oh.
had a file for Fushuen who wasn't even revealed until over a year after the game was announced. So it seems like
Oh.
someday we'll be seeing a Rita and Sakura crossover from Honkai Impact into this game. However, there's one more file, one more character that I never mentioned that is actually present in this build.
Cocolia.
Along with all the other characters that
Cocolia.
are present in the game files, there's
Cocolia.
one that stands out the most, and that would be Eileen.
I get you. Come on, Eileen.
But this begs the question of why? Why is Eileen in the game files in build 0.56? Why is she only in this build and not in any of the other closed beta tests? Why have we not?
I think it was her and Pela, like the whole build. It was just a proof of concept. It was like that's and then they changed. They had like they changed the entire model for March.
Not seen her present for the past 3 years. Why is her face black? When are we going to see her? What are her ties to March 7th? And that is the unsolved mystery of Eileen,
Nah, I solved it, bro.
the
I got it.
mysterious character in Honkai Star Rail who doesn't even exist.
So the AK-50 is now in the...
Nah, I got it. I solved it.
Eileen.
Easy. Hey, doggos, no fighting? I figured it out. I knew it. It's totally March. That being said, though, great freaking video. Absolutely loved it. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you a like and a sub, my dude. Definitely want to check out some future stuff. I'm gonna drop a link to the video in the Discord if y'all want to go check that out for yourselves as well, my dudes. Bam. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!